What up, guys? So I wanted to do a quick video on things to talk to your vet about before you before you get on a flight and either move with your dog internationally, or maybe you're just traveling internationally with your dog. I just thought it'd be good to go over a couple of things. And now it's always important to look at the requirements for where you're going. Every country is very specific. And so look those up. Make sure you follow the requirements very specifically to a T. Like, don't take any shortcuts. That's going to get your dog put into quarantine or your pet into quarantine, and you don't want any of that. And so, just follow those instructions. But anyways, there's some things that you're going to want to do that are kind of out of the realm of what the requirements for those particular countries. First, one thing I would suggest, talk to your vet about getting some kind of a anti-anxiety medication. Now, do not get the Tranquil or the stuff where you're tranquilizing the dogs and they're pretty much just, they're put under. You don't want to put the dog under for air travel. That's not good. You still want to make sure that they can breathe, and especially with pugs and stuff like that. Pugs are kind of an animal that you want to get put into the cabin if you're flying. Anything with with the smushed nose, preferably you can get into the cabin. Now, for dogs like Leela, who is part pit bull, she has to fly in the luggage area. Now, don't worry about the luggage area. It's not, I know there's it almost comes across as the boogeyman. It's not that bad. It's all temperature controlled. So the temperature that's in the cabin is also in the luggage area. You can talk to the stewardess or the steward when you get into the flight, and when you get to your seat, tell them, hey, I got a dog down there. Can you just remind the captain? The captain's already going to do it, but sometimes it's just nice just for you to say it and to get some confirmation from the staff that yes, they know, and that they can at least tell you when the pet has been boarded, has been loaded onto the plane. So that's actually a good thing to say. Maybe don't even mention the temperature, because they know. But if you tell them, hey, could you let me know when my dog is boarded, then they know that to expect a dog to be put onto the luggage area, and then it really kind of safeguards against any possible snafus, which are generally not going to happen, but it helps. But anyways, back to medication, anti-anxiety medication. This stuff basically, it stones them out a little bit. It's kind of like, they just had a couple hits of marijuana and they're just mellow, man. And it's very helpful, because really the most stressful time for the pet is going to be during takeoff. And that's when all the loud noises are happening. That's when stuff's moving around. They were just loaded onto the plane, so there's going to be some heightened, senses going on. So just having a little bit of mellowness during that time will help out. Now, if your dog's pretty chill, when you go to the vet and you talk to them about getting some anti-anxiety medication, there's a good chance that the vet's going to be like, no, you don't need it. Listen, the best, I had the vet tell me that for her, because, she looks pretty chill, right? But she does not handle loud noises well. So if you go to the vet, tell them that your dog is super high anxiety during fireworks. Like any kind of loud noise, fireworks gives them extreme anxiety. Make sure to bring that up, because if they're just chilled during the entire vet visit, your vet might not give them anything. So bring up the fireworks, bring up loud noises, say, makes them panting like crazy, and their heart's racing, and it takes them a long time to settle down. Now, I think there's a couple different kinds, but my dogs were diagnosed or were given with trazodone, 100 milligram tablets. It was give 2 tablets every 12 hours for 10 days. Really, you want to start, my recommendation would be to test this out like a week in advance or something like that. Just see how they react. You don't want them getting super nauseous or whatever. So follow the dosage instructions. Like if your vet says, give them food or something like that, follow those instructions. But you want to at least test it out to see, just to kind of monitor how they react to it. Most likely they're just going to be kind of super sleepy, which is what you want. And when you give them this, you're going to start like the day before. You don't just give them immediately. You give it like the day before, and then you keep giving it every 12 hours or something like that. And the best thing is to time it out. Time it out so that the last dosage you're giving your dog is right when you're arriving at the airport and you're getting ready to check the dog or your pets into the, have them checked in. And if they're flying luggage, basically what you're going to do is you're going to go up to the counter like you would with any checked luggage. You're going to be like, hey, here's my dog. You have to kind of reserve the pet space in advance. Like as soon as you get your tickets, call the airline. The airline's probably going to have a rule like you can't schedule like a dog's in the luggage department until a certain period of time before the flight. But as soon as that period starts, give them a call, reserve your space, because there is only an allotted amount of space for pets on most airlines. So when you go to check your luggage and the pets in, you're like, hey, this has already been taken care of. You probably had to pay a fee. It's good to have that paperwork with you. And when you show them all that information, they will take you into the, most likely, it's been my experience, is they will let you escort your dog in the kennel, in the plastic kennel, into the back room where all the luggage goes. And when you do that, you'll take the dog out of the kennel. They'll run the kennel through the x-ray machine. And then once the x-ray machine is cleared, you'll put your dog in. Now you'll take the leash and collar and everything off because you don't want, any chance of anything getting caught on the kennel or whatever. But anyways, so right before you go to check your dog in, give them their last dose. That will... that will take care of them at least for takeoff. For landing, probably not, but at least by that point they've been sleeping the entire time and it's just less anxiety at that point. But so talk to your vet about this. Also, talk to your vet about having their nails clipped. Very important. Now, even if you do the nails yourself, I think vets do a better job for getting it as close down as they can. Because one time when I flew, or I had two dogs at the time and they flew, and I don't know what happened, but she at some point in time had her nail get caught into like the window of the kennel. And I don't know what happened, but it got yanked off. And it yanked all the way down, like it ripped the entire nail off. Now, with pit bulls specifically, they don't show their pain very frequently. Like, it's got to be really hurting for them to be showing, like, hey, I'm in pain. And so after I picked her up, I didn't know anything happened. We were in our new apartment. The dogs were fine. And I kept on finding like these little trickles of blood all over, like on the floor. Like, what's happening? The dogs aren't acting weird, and I didn't nick myself. So what's happening? And it wasn't until I looked inside one of the kennels, and it was just like sprayed with blood. And so it's like, all right, did like a worker do something? Like, what happened? And then I finally started, looking around, and I noticed her licking her paw, and I look closer. It's like, oh, the nail's gone. And so from here on out, it's always been, okay, I'm going to make sure all the nails are filed down as low as they can so it avoids any potential nicking and getting caught in in anything. You just never know when the dogs are there. So, or when, they're by themselves. You don't know. So get the nails done, get your medicine, You'll get all of the vaccinations. File the specific schedule for vaccinations for the place you're going to. I always like getting that taken care of months in advance. Sometimes dogs have or pets have some kind of reaction to certain vaccinations. You never know. Like her, she reacts to certain things sometimes, and so it's good to get all of that out of the way whenever possible. So it's just it's just little things to get taken care of. Don't switch any foods. Don't start experimenting with foods at this time. You just keep everything. Once you know that you're going to be leaving with the dog, keep everything very the same. Just kind of all that stuff. And if there's one thing I can also recommend outside of the dog and the vet stuff, it's the collar. Go for don't get the plastic snap ones. Get the collars on, but one that's like a belt where you feed the metal through like the hole in the belt. Get a belt style one, because plastic ones, as a lot of times they will have the collars attached to the side of the kennel when you travel, and the plastic can expand and contract, and that can cause some problems, especially when you first snap it back on. I have had it in two separate situations where had it locked up, everything put together, a really quality collar. I think I had a conch one. Those aren't supposed to break, but had it all situated, and something happened. The plastic expanded, contracted in the temperatures, and like as soon as there's any kind of tug with the leash, it just snaps right off. Like you're in a new place. Like there's a lot of smells, a lot of things going on. You've got a lot of stress. So the whole thing is to try to reduce the amount of stress that you are under while you're traveling with your pet. And so the best option is to get the belt style collars, and see if you can see it. What it is. There won't be any change of dimension. There won't be any real expand contract that's going to affect how it stays on your pet, and so go for that. But that's really it. If your dog or your pet has any kind of allergies, if they're on any medication, try to get as much of that as possible. Your vet might be limited for the amount that they can give, but try to get as much as you can. That'll just buy you some time to find a new vet and to line up. They'll probably have their European or South American version of whatever the medication is that you're giving them. Realistically, it's probably going to be cheaper where you're moving to, because like everywhere I've gone, pet stuff has been dramatically less expensive. It's the same with kind of medication stuff. Once you get out of the United States, everything's so much cheaper. But it just buys you time to deal with that, because let's face it, you're going to have a lot of things going on, and the last thing you want to deal with is trying to find a vet within 2 weeks just to get a new prescription. But really, that's about it. It's, as long as you follow all the bullet points of the country you're going to and what you need to do, just follow that. Don't take any shortcuts, and everything will be fine. It doesn't have to be stressful. It really doesn't. So just follow the instructions, and you're going to be good to go. I promise you that. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. I've flown with her multiple times. You're going to multiple countries, and so I can answer whatever questions you have. But yeah, feel free to let me know. Like, subscribe, do all the good stuff, and I will catch you guys later.